Hey guys, welcome to Waste Not Wednesday. We go live every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Mountain Time to show you the junk we're gonna make over. Sometimes it's thrifted, sometimes it's literal garbage out of the garage, sometimes it's on the side of the road. Today we are doing thrift flips because we have been buying a lot of things that need to be made over. So we've already started on a few of them because we had channel membership and we got things going on that. So if you guys are part of the paid channel membership, make sure you're going to the community tab on YouTube, or if you're in Facebook, then you go to JRV subscribers and check out that video. We did a bunch of fun projects, but there's always more things to paint.
Hold on. Also, the printables are live if you're a channel member. You can download these and print 100 of them off.
Not to be confused with the rice paper subscription or the stencil subscription. We have a paid membership group where you can download digital images once a month.
Yeah, we don't print these for you.
We do not print these for you. These are just those digital images. And then obviously we have 2 extra live videos that you get as well. We haven't promoted that as much, but it is something we've been doing for a few years now. It's a lot of fun. But we're going to get started here. Let's paint some junk. I've got a tray. This was $3.99 at Goodwill. Did we get it at Goodwill or did we get this at...
I think it was Goodwill, yeah.
Because it's got a $3.99 tag on it. Originally it's from Better Homes and Gardens. I washed it right before we went live, but I missed a few spots that I got to dry off. But I'm going to paint this inside Provincial, and then I don't know where we're going from there, but the inside's getting painted Provincial.
And I've got to finish getting this clock together. It is already sold. It sold, was it last weekend? And we mentioned it would be painted, but it hadn't been painted yet, so we're getting to it today. Gonna finish that up. I gotta get the hardware back on it. This is painted in Kent and then dark oil waxed. We got some pretty good crackle and chipping. It's just freshly oiled, so it's got some highs and lows. That'll settle in and be what it is. The oil wax, a lot of people had a lot of questions last time I used this, so I'm just gonna go over it again. It is not the bio-certified food-safe wax like the hemp oil that we have that is, or the tung oil that we have that is.
And you can add milk paint to the hemp oil or to the tung oil to tint it and make a food-safe tinted wax.
But this oil wax, it dries hard like a resin, and then after it's dry and cured, sometimes it takes up to 30 days to do that, you can put transfers over it. It's what's on our island that you guys see us abuse every week and do hundreds of projects on. It's what's on our floors. And you can get it in clear, dark, black, and white tints.
At JamieRayVintage.com. Little pro tip there. You can also put like a transfer directly on the milk paint and then seal it with the oil wax as well. So keep that in mind. But once you put the oil wax on something, if you want to put a transfer over that, you need to wait till it cures all the way. And oil wax does have a scent. Wax smells. It's just the way it is. Whether it's hemp oil or if it's the tung oil or the oil wax, it has a scent. It's not especially pleasant, but it will go away.
A lot of people think it smells like lead pencil shavings.
Or castor oil.
Same smell.
But just keep that in mind. And if you ever buy anything from us that we have oil wax, you're like, oh, this smells a little different. It'll go away. Just give it a minute. All right. Base coat of Provincial done on here. I think I am going to do some sort of transfer zones. I haven't decided what yet. I also have a box that I pre-painted, so we can have fun with that. I did this in Provincial, and I'm going to get started painting a couple of boxes in Blue Hills. It's a color we haven't used for a while, but it's fun for spring. And I think I'm actually going to go Provincial on this bird, so I'll circle back to Provincial because I love Provincial with white wax on ceramics. It's really pretty. So where's my brush? Okay. You should use a knife to stir up, or not a knife, but like a stick to stir up your paint. I'm shaking it, so I'm probably gonna have bubbles, but it is what it is.
So sometimes on Waste Not Wednesday, you see us do projects that aren't necessarily like scrap wood or, well, best practice, yeah. You know, we do all kinds of stuff on these live streams that you shouldn't do, but this is the time we have to do these projects, and that's why they're getting done on this video. Yeah,
we have a pretty busy week this week. Thursday's video is going to be awesome. We've already thrifted, and we did go to the bins. So if you guys have been itching for the bins, that's going to be on the Thursday video, so don't miss that out. It'll be up at 4 o'clock Thursday. Zeb's just got to do one little project, I think, for the end of that. I'm not doing 100% coverage because I'm going to sand this. So I'm okay if a little bit of that base color peeks through.
We will see how that project goes. It's a project I've never done before. with books. So we'll see. We'll see how it turns out. It
You're
may
the one
not
that
turn
wanted
out
to
at
do
all.
it.
I am pretty excited to try it. If it works, I'm going to do it a lot.
One of the projects we need to work on is those urns that we just got at the store the other day. Because Zeb put them on our front porch and we look like a mortuary. You know, they have those like giant flower arrangements. It's a little large and in charge.
Either that or like a grand hotel entrance or something.
They look a little out of place in our farmhouse. So we got to get the greenery out of those and get them planted.
Well, we are not tropical. It snowed a little yesterday afternoon. It's raining today. We're in that weird March weather where it can rain or be 70 the next day. Well, not 70, 60, 50, 60s. Or it can snow on you all night.
It was almost 70 Monday though.
Yeah, it was in the high 60s.
Or no, Sunday.
Yeah, it was like 68, something like that. It felt amazing. I was tempted to get my shorts out.
My mom was laughing because she was like, you guys swim all the time and it's almost 70 and you're inside. I'm like, I know. We're weird.
All right, almost got the hardware on. And then I didn't have time. So we painted this in the channel membership video. I didn't have time to put a knob on here. It used to have this broken little handle on it that was broken in half. And so I'm just gonna put a knob right directly in the center, although I don't know if this one will work. That screw is really long.
You might have to shorten it.
Yeah.
Well, you can go in the drawer and see what else you can find.
Yeah, we might visit the
I
drawer.
have a few options. I am kind of a knob hoarder. We have random knobs we sell at the shop, and then I have my random knobs I keep at home. You never know when you're gonna need a knob.
Well, they're so handy. Like, we use them for doing drawer pulls and hanging things for like aprons or coats. You know, you can use them for just about anything. The tops of like little finials or decorations for the tops of things.
Yep. Okay, birds going. I might circle around to the birdhouse that we need to get painted because that's sold, and then I'll leave you with the tray. And those candlesticks are going to be a decent amount of work, especially that ginormous one.
All right, the back of this is back together. Looks like I've got a little bit of paint I missed cleaning this glass off. I was unable to get the glass out, so I just painted over and razor bladed it off, and it's fine. It looks great.
If you ever see stuff that we don't paint that's sold, like that urn and those bookends, sometimes people tell us, please don't paint it. So like the urn that we had on Saturday, we had a request not to paint it. So that's getting shipped out, so you won't see us do that. And then the little corbel bookends, I think whoever bought them is wanting to give them a makeover. So, yes, these. Phew.
What did I come over here for? Oh, looking for knobs.
I'm like, I don't know. What
You
did you
sneezed
go over
and it
there for?
distracted me.
Sorry, a little distracting sneeze. I actually didn't think the paint finish was that bad on this, but Zeb wasn't a fan, so.
Which one?
Let's get a new one. This one.
Oh, yeah. Well, when you look close at it, it was like it had a lot of brush strokes that you could see, and it didn't look like it had been painted. It just looked
I feel like that was the point, but
maybe
it's all right. They could have primed it, but I'm not going that much different with the color, so I'm just gonna do 2 coats of provincial.
You have so many styles, I can't choose.
I have a lot of knobs. I told you I do.
Oh, you know what? I think I might just glue this little button knob in. It's a tiny little.
Somehow my phone, I got on some sort of call list for more, like people wanting to lend me money, and I'm like, every day people either want to give me health insurance or lend me money, and I'm about done with it.
Is that what was just ringing on your phone?
Yes, I'm not interested in taking out any loans right now, and I'm also not interested in, I already have health insurance.
So I think that's going to be about the perfect size on that. But I will need to drill a hole out in this.
I'll have to let this finish air drying.
This knob was just going to be too big. I mean, it doesn't look bad, but it's going to be too big.
Okay. I'm going to move on to my cute little birdhouse here. This birdhouse is cute as is, but I want to make it springy.
5.5, so that would be 2 3/4 to the center. just gonna eyeball that up because this is arched and it's not, it's like a hand done cut. Okay, you're gonna be on your own for a second, be entertaining. I gotta go out in the garage and find the drill bit that's the right size for this little knob.
I'll just be here painting stuff with cottage color because it's amazing. Covers well, has a built-in sealer. I rated for outdoors, so if somebody puts this outdoors, it'll be okay. Although it has felt on the bottom, so I don't know that this is an outdoor birdhouse. I'm gonna try not to get paint on the felt, but no promises. Blue Hills is an underrated color we have not used enough, so you might see me bringing it out more. Trying to mix things up. I'm doing this upside down because inevitably I always miss underneath the eaves, so it's just easier to paint it upside down and then make sure I get all the spots. I wish I would remember to paint stuff upside down every time, but I don't. I was as entertaining as I could be.
How did you do?
I don't know, you have to wait for the comments to roll in and see if I was boring people or not.
So I don't even know if I told you, I painted this with the new Kent milk paint from the Bespoke line.
Yes, I don't think you did.
That's what this clock is. I also have some candlesticks hiding off camera over here that we're gonna finish that are drying. I think I'm gonna do, I might do the cobblestone over the top of that.
Oh, well, I don't know if I have enough cobblestone mixed up for you because I have cobblestone here, but I've got a tote outside. I've got Nadine's tote I gotta finish.
Well, that's too long. I don't want it that
I think
long.
this is already so much cuter in this bright blue color.
Make sure that's deep enough.
I think I want to paint the roof white, so I'm going to dry that off and then get back in here with the white paint. We'll just paint the edges blue and then I'll just do the top white.
What color is that blue? What did you mix?
Blue Hills.
Oh, Blue Hills. No mix.
I guess I haven't used it in a while.
We haven't used it in quite a while.
I was just telling him it's underrated and I need to use it more.
It's a great spring color.
That and vintage mint, so watch out. I'm gonna try to bring some variety to the Jamie and Zeb show here. I just want this to be really dry so when I paint the white, I'm not blending paint. Do we have a brush? Can you pass me that brush that hasn't been used yet?
That one.
This is like the bottom of the barrel. This lid has been left off a lot, so this white's a little chunky. Which is fine, it'll give me good coverage. Make sure you're putting the lid back on your paints. I cannot be held accountable for your paint getting dried out. You can always add water, but if it gets too dried out, it does have a built-in sealer, so it might be the path of no return.
Oh, that is the wrong size. We can make it bigger.
I might paint the edge on this. It'd be cuter with the edge painted.
That's going to be a nice tight fit. I don't have wood glue, so we're just going to use this neutral pH adhesive, which is for books, but it will work here. Paper, wood, it's similar.
I think this is already, what do you think about this blue and the white? That's cute.
Oh no, that's a good contrast.
I mean, I don't know that anybody actually has white roofs unless they're covered with snow, but fine.
All right. Well, I just peeled all the paint off because it was warm. Round 3.
Oh, I like that knob. That's actually more size appropriate for that little drawer.
Yeah, that's why I went with it, because I was like, that other one is huge.
It's The ginormous knob there.
May even need to go get a hammer. That is a tight fit. Dare I heat gun this?
I'm having to go nice and neat on the back because there's not like an overhang there. I think I'm just gonna distress this and this is gonna be good to go. We'll see if I embellish it anymore. Just trying to be as neat as possible on this. And I got paint on the felt on the bottom. It is what it is. Don't look underneath it. That's cute. Hey, you're gonna go sit over here and dry. Does anybody else box their junk when they paint it?
All right, now it's glued and pressure fit. Okay, so I used dark oil wax on this earlier, so we're gonna hit this knob real quick with that.
This is the more accurate consistency of cottage color because this is a newer pint, so it's not all dried out.
Perfect. Okay, this is done. We're gonna go set this in the sun to settle down and cure up.
Would you grab my tote while you're out there?
It needed, I was gonna leave it without a knob because I kind of liked it, but now that I have the knob on there, I'm like, oh yeah, it needed it.
I might have to do 3 coats because this was a little slick. All right, you're gonna get pushed over there. I'm gonna heat gun these, get these all the way complete, and then I'll work on my tote that's been outside drying. About 20 minutes in, I think.
Okay.
So 20-ish minutes, I don't know exactly when we started.
Let's see, I gotta heat gun these a little bit. I painted these earlier as well. They just have 1 coat of the Kent and it was pretty shiny. I do have Extra Bond, which that's the additive to help the milk paint. It improves adhesion to previously painted finishes and non-porous surfaces when using milk paint.
And I'm just using sandpaper.
Oh, this was previously painted. What are you doing? Oh,
I'm just using sandpaper to distress this and bring back some of that original wood. Sometimes I forget to tell people what I'm doing. This is 220. It's not the freshest piece of 220, so it's not taking it off super fast, which is fine.
So these were black, and then now we've got like a base coat of Kent. I'm gonna go with a neutral over the top, and then I'm thinking I'm gonna dark oil wax these ones too, because I'm loving it.
Deb, when you get on a kick, you get on a kick. You're
Listen,
like,
when I find something that I love, I do it a lot. Our mailman is having to dodge all the painted stuff out of the front porch.
yeah, it's not unusual for him.
He's pretty good at it. He waved.
We live in an old neighborhood, so our mailbox is attached to the house. So
let's see. Do I go with provincial over this, or you said you had some milk paint mixed up? Do you have the cobblestone?
Whoop.
I think that's enough.
Yeah, I do. I got to do another coat on this, but that's okay. You can use that. It's fine. I'll make more. It's not a big deal. It's kind of chunky, just so you know.
I was going to say, you did not mix this super great. It's textured.
It's texturized. It's textural. Okay, I'm going to bring out traditional pots because there's white transfers on here, and I think white would look good on this Blue Hills. Maybe if I can get to the right page.
Just going to give this some extra mixing.
So there's 4 sheets. There's 2 black and a blue and a white.
So milk paint, when you get it, it comes in powder form. Mix it up, 1 part milk paint to 1 part water.
Although...
And you can go thinner or thicker if you want. Like if you want your milk paint to be thicker, less water, thinner, more water. If you want to wash, lots of water.
I think I'm going to do black. I lied. I was gonna do white, and then I'm like,
Julier.
what?
You lied to me.
I'm a Julier. No, I've decided I'm gonna use this one on this box and this one on this box, and then I might do white on that other box. I painted before we went live because the white might look good on Provincial. Oh, I forgot a little stick. Speaking of transfers, we are sold out of Wild Blowman, and we do have a bunch of Catarina, or at least we did, because we ordered a bunch extra when Blowman sold out. So if you're wanting Catarina, make sure you are checking that out at jamieravintage.com, because it'll be out with IOD for a while until they get restocked. You know IOD is popular. Also, we have 30% off all the retired IOD that we have overstock on. So check that out on the website. And the color of the month for milk paint is olive, and that's 35% off. And both of the overstock on the IOD that's been discontinued and the milk paint color of the month, you do not need a code. It will come off when you check out. So because this has a built-in sealer, this is going on pretty well. Make sure you're not pushing too hard, especially if your paint is fresh. I'm not overly pushing on this. And then I will seal it up with some clear wax, just over the top of the transfer.
So I had to touch that there, so I'm just gonna come back through, smooth that out. It had to be moved. I was too awkward to paint this over off to the side.
Gonna distract the transfer a little bit. This really is missing a lot of grit to this sandpaper. It's well worn. Would you have the clear wax out?
No, I don't. I've been using dark oil wax today. I thought I did. I looked at it this morning.
I think you have the clear wax brush though, right, sweetie?
Yeah, I have all the brushes out. That's because I looked at it and I was gonna get it, and then I just dark waxed everything and didn't use it. I never brought it over. The dark oil wax was all I did on that clock. I'm thinking I'm gonna heat gun this. See if we get like a lot of crackle and chipping, because we did not on the first coat with it just drying out on this Kent color that I just covered up.
Okay, this is done. The clear wax, you could also seal this with any kind of water-based liquid top coat or hemp oil or whatever. Clear wax is easy, and I don't have to seal anything else. I just like to seal over the top of the transfer.
Don't let me forget to bring that clock back in. I say don't let me forget, and then I always forget. Because I want to show you guys with it. It's sitting out in the sun, so hopefully it settles down a little bit and evens out the tones. And if it doesn't, I think it's probably still going to be okay, because you know, it makes it look old and aged. But it usually settles down. I might have to do a third coat, because you had extra bond in yours. I had extra bond in mine, in my
Yeah, I
tank.
don't know where you're going with Cortrina's candlesticks there, but it's gonna be good.
We're gonna do a non-extra bond coat. And see if we can get some cracking and chipping, because this is getting a slight amount just from the heat gun, but not a lot.
So these are all from the traditional pots. These are the black ones. I'm just gonna make sure this is distressed the way that I want it. I love these little wood boxes. I feel like we buy a ton of them, but they're just so cute. And they're so easy to make over.
Well, and spring is coming.
Everybody needs a little planter.
I missed a huge spot on this. No matter where you're at in the world, unless Alaska, because they got like
Australia.
They got like 3 feet of snow.
They're the opposite.
In May, you know.
If you're on the other side of the equator, Australia is coming into fall.
But yeah, spring's on its way.
They've been in summer. All right. Did you use all of that? Because I do need to second coat this tote. Is there milk paint left in there? Oh, there is. So this tote I painted earlier, and I did this with cobblestone. I'm just gonna get full coverage here, then distress it, and we'll go from there. And if I happen to get any drips, because the milk paint is thinner, I will come back and get them, don't stress.
Okay, that one's dry enough I can move it around pretty easy. I think I might even just do a third color.
You might even do a third color.
So it'll be 4-tone if we get back to the black to distress it.
All right, let's go next level on these candlesticks.
Because it was black, Kent, cobblestone. Maybe I'll use the antique ironstone on it. That would look really good if I get all these colors.
You could wash it and that might help make it crackle some more.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna let this air dry a little bit. Make sure I get under the edge of this handle. We're gonna circle back to this project. Dry my drop cloth here. If you guys remember, I went provincial on the inside of this. So I've got to second coat that, and I have no idea.
Are you not doing the edges?
No, I'm gonna leave them brown.
Are we stenciling in there, or you got a transfer
know.
plan here?
I don't know. I just wanted to have a nice neutral start to the tray. And I don't know.
Oh, that was wet.
And I'm going to distress the edges to bring back some of that galvanized through. So I wanted to leave the edges dark. I had to paint over that Home Sweet Home that was coming off that wasn't very good to kind of decide where it was going from there. And I just don't know what I'm doing. Sometimes I gotta start somewhere and then go from there. Hopefully I have what I want to finish it. Whoop, get in that corner.
All right, antique ironstone. I'm gonna mix this up thick. I may even do a wet distress while these are still pretty fresh and see if I can get some of that cobblestone off and get back to the black in some spots. The original paint job on these was like a more of a glossy black finish.
I got that base coat done. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing with that. It's got a great start.
Well, we are not getting back to the black.
Well, I mean, you put a lot of bond in there. You might have to sand it to get back to the black.
And I might just not worry about it and it'll be these tones.
Okay. I'm going to do white on this provincial.
Okay, so antique ironstone in here. I'm going thicker on the mix.
So white's hard to see, but once you take it off the backer, you can see it, and then you can decide where it is as you want to lay it out. Make sure this is mostly centered here. My very official measurement. And I'm gonna do white on each end, and then I might do some white transfers on the side. I might use the whole sheet on this, I don't even know.
I got too thick and I made mud, so now I'm coming back too.
Ironstone mud, I feel like that's accurate.
Yeah.
Whenever you're doing words, it takes a little bit of patience to get all those letters on there. What were you gonna say, sweetie?
I was just saying, look how thick it is.
It's chunky. Maybe water that down a little.
I got a lot of water in here now.
All right, well, you do you, boo.
It's coming around. I'm using a spoon. I should be using a fork or a whisk. Oh, there we go. It's breaking up.
I'm a fork girl if I'm mixing milk paint. I'll show this up close to you guys once I get the transfer on here. If you're new here, this is an Iron Orchid Designs transfer, and it is a home decor, very thin, very detailed vinyl, and I'm just using an applicator stick that it comes with to attach it to my dried, cured paint. Make sure your paint's dry before you try to put on a transfer, and do not push too hard. You want to push hard enough to adhere it, but not so hard that you peeled the paint up, especially if it's fresh.
Also the gold ones, if you've got one of the gold foil transfers, you really just want to press where the design is that you want it to come off.
Yeah. Okay. One, see how good that white looks on there? One is done. I'll just dress it once it's all done.
I'm gonna have to wash this. We've used all the brushes.
I think I'm gonna use the little bird one that was on.
How can you even see where those are at?
You gotta have eagle eye vision, man. Make sure you're cutting it out correctly. I'm gonna use the fox little transfer because that's gonna fit perfectly on this little inset here. See, now that I take the backer off, it's easy, I can see it. I might need to cut off these words on the bottom and then see if I have room for them. I don't know that we are. We gotta fit this in this little hole here. Okay, it's centered-ish.
This is gonna be textured when we're all done. Lots of texture. Because I went so thick with it. I think I have the consistency I want. Now I just gotta get the thick clumpies out.
This was like a little chalkboard inset in it, and it's okay, but that's kind of an older, dated look, and I wanted to update it, so I'm just doing a little transfer on the inset. It would have been okay to leave it too, if you wanted a chalkboard. And actually would have been cute to do a white transfer on the chalkboard because it would have looked like chalk art. So we got that one on there. Now I'll have to decide. I've got an image on each end. Do I also want to do, I think I do. All right, the paint is still wet in all these little cracks, so I'm gonna have to.
This is dragging, it is thick.
Keep on it.
That's how you know when your paint is thick, when it drags the brush with bristles. It's like I'm not even painting, I'm like mushing the paint on here.
You're plastering it on there?
Yes.
That's why I could never have a manicure without paint all in my fingernails here.
We had a meeting to go to the other day and Jamie changed into a dress and her hands were still all painted. She's looking all cute and then her hands had paint all over them.
Last week I did help with Battle of the Books too, and I totally had paint all over me. And look, I'm at that point again. It's just my life. If people don't like it, they don't need to look at my hands.
It was endearing.
It was endearing. Well,
I was
I'm
like,
glad.
oh, look at her. She's been working hard all day, threw a dress on.
Somebody commented the other day, they're like, stay humble. I'm like, I'm not really sure how I could not, because I'm always a mess. I'm in the middle of stuff. Even if I try to be highfalutin fancy, it just doesn't work. Oh, I had it perfect and it slipped. You don't really want to move these a lot, like I'm doing. All right, let's see if we're, I'm gonna move that over a little. Okay, we're committed. If you move it around a lot, you're gonna lose the stickiness and adhesiveness, and sometimes it'll stick where you don't want it, so you gotta be careful. If you guys are new to the painting world, I cannot recommend thrift flips enough because this is such a great way, low pressure way to figure out how to work with projects. We had somebody that was doing a family heirloom the other day and they were super frustrated and it broke my heart, and I was like, oh, I really wish you would have tried out that technique on something else first to see how the products work, get comfortable with them. I mean, I think sometimes people think that we leave information out. Like when we're live like this, what you see is exactly what we're doing. Like there's no hidden secrets here. But we've also done this thousands of times, so we know how to work with it. So if you're new to the industry or wanting to work on a project, please consider thrift flips first. Do the look that you want and then do it on something big. Oops, I missed the bottom of her.
Also, if you're unsure how to use a product, Caitlin has almost all the answers. And if she doesn't, she asks us. And if we don't, then you're experimenting past the realm of our experimenting in 10 plus years of experience painting thrift flips and furniture.
So I'm just taking my thumbnail and going in all the cracks with this transfer. We got this one on there. That one's actually slightly imperfect, but we're gonna go with it. And I'm going to put the transfer on this side.
I think I pushed this aside, but now I'm like, no, maybe I need to heat gun it right now since it's so thick and see if we can get that crackle I'm wanting out of it. And if it crackles a lot, it could crackle all the way down to your base layer.
I mean, you have been working on those a hot minute, so I should have charged 50 bucks a candlestick.
Yeah. Sometimes you have to just experiment. It's not about the time or the products used. You're just playing. You're just playing with the paint and figuring things out.
Well, it's like how doctors are practicing. We're practicing.
Boy, that makes you nervous, right? And I am getting some chipping and crackling. And I've got some texture. I am gonna have to sand them.
You might want a new piece of 220 because I'm telling you, this one is spent.
Is that one sad?
It's working okay for this, but you're not really gonna get through much with it.
Okay.
Oops. If you ever move it and you need to put a piece back, just lay it back on there. Don't stress. Okay, I'm not going to sand this right away and seal it because there is still wet paint in the cracks here, but I think this looks really good. It's good neutral. This needs a third coat because that bird was shiny. And then I'm going to circle back to this tray, and then we'll see if I get to the tote. That tote is the tote that's taken multiple videos to finish. It's all right. Where's my provincial? Do you have it over there? Yeah, can I have provincial?
Oh,
now
yes.
the question is, did you wash my brush?
Yes, I did, and I used it, and I'm currently using it. You could take my Kent brush if you need to. Nope.
I'm going to wash this brush.
Actually,
I'm done with Blue Hills.
Oh, there it is. Let me bring this up close so you guys can see some of the crackling and chipping. I may have gotten too much right there, but we're gonna sand and distress. It's still kind of wet, so I might paint over that again. Or I might leave that and just sand it and work with it. Let's see if we can get this to focus. Okay, there you go. You can see the crackling that we're starting to get. I've got some stuff up here. But I'm gonna hit it with the sandpaper in a minute. We're gonna let that dry. Look, there's still some wet right there.
If we're ever live and we miss a question, make sure you're emailing info@jbratevintage.com with any questions, because we are happy to help. And so is Caitlin. sometimes it's impossible to get everything answered. And Caitlin's usually on here answering questions too.
All right, I added a little more water because this had started to dry out on me just sitting there.
You're probably asking yourself, why is she using a spatula? I was scraping something off of something I painted earlier and the spatula was out for that. I am gonna show you guys, I painted that little mini dresser that Zeb passed on and then I bought it and it turned out so cute. It's already sold. I just need to distress it and I'm doing a little short video on painting it so you won't miss out on that. But it turned out cute. All right, this is gonna be my last coat of paint for this bird. Third coat here, then I'm just going to white wax it and move on with my life.
It was really shiny.
Well, I could have primed it and then did 2 coats of paint, or I could do 3 coats of paint. So, I mean, it's really the same amount of effort. It wasn't so shiny that I felt like I needed to prime it, but it was shiny enough that it's taken 3 coats of paint.
I had a fingerprint on that.
You got your DNA. Oh.
Are fingerprints DNA?
I know, I said that and then I just immediately thought the same thing. I'm like, I don't know what that is. Okay, let's dry
Genetic
this.
markers? I think that's in your DNA too.
If you ever are heat gunning the cottage color, be so careful, it will bubble on you. It has a built-in sealer. I might lightly distress this to pull out some of that dark and then white wax it. We'll see.
Oh, side note, just randomly thinking about it over here because I got to print a bunch off still to get shipped for March, but you have until the 12th to sign up for the subscription papers, not the ones we showed earlier in the video, the subscription papers. Maybe after I heat gun this, I'll go grab them. I have some printed off upstairs.
And the stencils of the month. So it swaps over on the 13th. So till midnight Utah time on the 12th, you get the current month stencils and papers, and then it'll swap over. And if you sign up after that, you'll get the following month's one, which you're going to want to sign up for the stencil subscription because I promise you that next month's stencils are so good. I'm getting my proofs in the next few days here, and then we'll be golden.
Are you doing anything else on that bird? You gonna white wax it? Or?
Lightly distress it, maybe, or just white wax it. I haven't decided. Just wanting to get this paint all the way dry because I keep touching it and like messing it up. Which is easy to do when it's shiny like this. I feel like if I lightly distress it, I will save myself the heartache of the paint slightly coming off the edges because it's not cured. I think that's what I'm going to do. It's not really distressing. The paint is really well adhered.
Well, you're on 3 coats now.
Yeah. It's all right. I'm just lightly coming off the edges. Maybe get this beak a little. This cottage color really does stick well.
All right, I'm gonna go grab those papers and a new piece of
Okay, I was going to grab the white
sandpaper.
wax, so I'll wait till you get back to do that. So
okay.
we're not both off camera at the same time. Okay, you probably can't even tell, but it's lightly distressed. The be ready for wax. And I gotta heat gun this. See, it's okay, we got time. This tote could really be any color and it'd be so cute because of the like shape of the tote.
I'll let you show them this and I'll grab you some white wax.
Oh, okay. All right, so this is this month's subscription papers. So you get 4 papers every month. And these may or may not eventually come into production, but currently the only way to get them is through the subscription. The subscription is discounted. I believe it's $10.95 plus shipping. It depends on where you're at in the world. And you get first dibs on the new papers. You guys are like our little test kitchen. And then the very best, most favorite ones will probably come into production eventually. You can also just do a one-time only. It's just more expensive. I think it's like $15.95 or $14.95 or $13. I don't know. Something. $95.
Do you have clear wax
check out the
over
website.
There?
What?
Oh, you do. I was like looking and looking and looking for the clear wax.
But the deal is, if you do the subscription, it's a lot cheaper. But then you have something coming every month, so you got to make that decision. I will off camera just sand the bottom of that so it's not messy. I'll use the orbital sander and make it nice and smooth. Make sure this is all the way dry. These cracks, it's like my arch nemesis. Every time you paint, you get paint dried up in the cracks, and it takes forever to get it dried. Okay, I think the outside is dry. I did put Bond in this cobblestone milk paint, so it's sticking very, very well.
So I've been having a lot of fun making the subscription papers. There is, if you're getting every month, there is a little like Easter egg surprise that should start to become pretty apparent what it is. But the only hint I'm going to give you is that one of the styles of the paper has a recurring theme that I'm going to do every month. So at the end of the year, you'll have like a collection of this theme of papers if you get all 12 of them.
Well, I hope by the end of the year they've been using it.
So you can still use them.
Well, yeah, you'll have a collection of used something.
Yeah, I encourage you to use them. That's what they're for.
Yeah, I've had a lot of people that say that they have like vintage antique booths, and that the paper and stencil subscription has really encouraged them every month to try to find a way to use it, and they're getting all their projects finished. And I'm like, that is awesome, because from somebody who does a lot of projects, anything I can do to encourage other people to get their projects done makes me happy.
Hey, I got back to the black right there. All right.
But the question is, any blue coming through, or did you just do 5,000 layers for no reason?
We're working on it. I might get the wet distress out too and see if we can really get her to chip up. Because I definitely got some crackle going.
I'm not going to be able to sand the inside of this until those cracks dry out. The paint's like...
The crazy thing about this is right before I started painting, this had some wax on it, and I thought I would get more resist than I was. I was like, sweet, I'll work with that, because I heat gun the wax off because they're candlesticks, right? And it has stuck really well. I'm not getting the resist I was hoping to get. You know, we're doing things in like sequence. We're both heat gunning at the same time, both distressing at the same time.
Well, I'm going to be sanding this for a while because the milk paint was a little textured. So I'm having to smooth that out, which is fine because then it gives you kind of a chippy look.
So I will paint the bottom of these. I'm going to wait until I'm done with the tops though and doing the finish, because the bottom is just going to get this iron, or this
Ironstone?
Ironstone. That's the one.
I'm like, are you looking for a word there?
I was going to say cobblestone, and then I was like ironstone, and then I was, is that right?
Sometimes it takes me longer to sand it than it does to paint it. Because I want it to be distressed just right.
The painting is pretty quick.
Do you have a wet rag? I might wet distress this.
I have a damp rag. It's not super wet.
I don't know if it will wet distress, but see, I did add Bond to the paint. If you don't know what Bond is, it's added to the milk paint and it makes it adhere to shiny surfaces. And this was already pre-finished with a factory finish, and I did not want it all to chip off. So I added Bond to it, and it is really adhering well. So it does as intended. But sometimes when you get Bond wet through wet distressing, you can get a little bit of chippy, but I don't know how much I'm going to get in this, because that rag is not very damp. Deb is correct in that. I'll show this up to you up close so you guys can see the distress when I'm done.
I'm getting some small hints of blue here and there on these from the kit.
It's good because Cortrina has a lot of blue and green, and this will be a nice neutral for her.
I was just upstairs looking, because she was out of town, so she had us hold her orders for a minute. And I was looking at some of the things she had ordered. I think these will pair well with it, especially once I get the dark oil wax on there.
Standing down in this box is going to be a little bit interesting, but I'm going to do my best. All right, I was gonna maybe do white wax, but I think that with the white peeking through, I might just do clear wax. This cobblestone is such a pretty neutral.
So you're seeing, because you milk painted that too, the power of the extra Bond.
But I'm still getting some
We're
chippy.
not able to really get these as chippy as we wanted them because we put too much extra Bond in. So
I'm fine with the way this looks.
So if you want like a really chippy look, maybe don't go with it at all. But also if you don't go with it at all, if you're painting over a shiny surface like these candlesticks were, you run the risk of losing all your paint off.
Better be prepared. You have been warned.
Which also sometimes gives a really cool effect because you'll just have like paint in like the little cracks and stuff and it looks like it's 1,000 years old.
Just making sure this is super dry before I put a wax brush on it. And like I said, I'll run the orbital on the bottom, clean that up. You guys, I know you can't see the inside of this, but there's a little bit of chunks from the milk paint. I'm trying to smooth them out. Although there was also chunks from the original paint finish because it was chippy and coming off.
All right, let me see if I can get back to some of that blue.
That's cute.
So this is a damp rag. It's not soaking wet, but pretty damp.
Well, if you get it soaking wet, you best be prepared for what's going to happen. Okay. Clear wax. You got to seal milk paint. This does not have a built-in sealer like the cottage color, so you could use a liquid sealer, which I feel like wouldn't look exactly the way I want. So I'm gonna go with a clear wax. Nadine had talked about possibly putting a transfer on it. I think you could. I would just wait until it's dried a couple months. I don't really think that it needs a transfer because it's got so much going on in all the detail. It's like the cutest taupe we've had in a while.
Yeah, that one's a fun one. I really like the handle and the shape of it. Someone put a lot of time making that one.
Well, I think this was mass produced.
Think?
Well, yeah, I do. Somebody made it somewhere. It might have been on a CNC machine, but it got made.
Well, the CNC machine does so much, and then you still have to assemble.
Yeah. And I'm not putting a whole ton of wax on, so hopefully it won't take too long to cure up. And once it cures, it will lighten a little bit, but it's not like the DIY paint where it changes a ton. It doesn't get a lot darker when you wax milk paint.
There we go, we got a good chip on that one.
That's cute. I like the crackle on that. I do love, so this also is going to give you a good idea. This is provincial. This is cobblestone. They are very close.
This is a little darker.
Yeah.
It's like more brown, that's more gray.
Just found a little spot that I didn't particularly like the way it was sitting. All right, I'm going to fuss with this too much and then have to step away.
Okay, it's time for our dark wax. I'm gonna need more than that.
Look at that. Good thing that came apart. Can I have some glue? I didn't know.
Loose. Look at you. Quality control.
Quality control. Don't stress. We're gonna take care of it. I'm gonna
just pull it all the way off and glue those little dowels.
Woo! I might have to touch up that. Okay.
Okay, dark oil wax. Talked about it extensively at the beginning of the video, and I don't want to bore the people that have been here the whole time. So if you missed it and you joined late, go back to the beginning of the video and I tell you all about the dark oil wax for like 5 minutes.
And I'm just making sure we don't have any excess glue where we don't want it. Make sure it's really well attached. I'm glad that happened here, because I've been moving it around and it had not come off. And I got wood right on those dowels, so when that wood dries, this is going to be super secure.
This is the same oil wax finish I did to that clock. I'll bring that back in. That's drying outside. I did that on another video, which is why I'm showing you this one here.
Did you give me the white wax, sweetie?
Yeah, the wax is right there.
Okay, perfect.
And this is different than regular wax. It will dry hard.
We have about 5 more minutes and then I gotta go to...
Yeah, I'm trying to wrap these up so I can show them. You gotta go to Battle of the Books.
Battle of the Books. And I gotta get myself a little snack before I go with a bunch of elementary school kids.
It's always a good idea to be well fed when you have to deal with.
I don't want to have a short temper because I'm hangry, because I love those kiddos. It's fun because it's a lot of the kids that we have at church go to school, so I get to see all my kids that I sing with on Sunday.
It doesn't take a lot. I probably only had like maybe a couple ounces, maybe less than that, to do both of these. You can apply it with a rag. I just like to do it with a brush. It gets down in all the cracks a little better. I recommend actually using a chip brush you don't care about, because you will be washing for quite a while. This is just the brush we happen to have, so I'm using it.
You're gonna, yeah, and I like that brush, so you're gonna have to.
I got it out last time I used it, but it does take a bit of washing out. So a lot of times I'll just use a brush. I'm just gonna one and done, like a little chip brush, throw it away and move on with my life.
All right, here's my bird. The provincial with the white wax is really pretty. And it's really nice and smooth because that paint lays down so good. Okay, I'm gonna get out of the battle zone there. Do you want me to go grab your clock?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't get this finished, guys, so stay tuned with how this gets completed. I don't think this is sold yet, so I'm not rushing. You want to go grab your clock? I got to distress this.
Yeah, I'll grab it in a minute. I got to get the wax off of these.
You do that, and I'm gonna.
Also, just know if you're using like a rag you're just going to dispose of to wipe it back, make sure you're letting that dry out like a metal can or whatever. It is oil wax. It can spontaneously combust if it gets hot.
You gotta take care of things responsibly. I think you can put them in water, can't you?
Yeah.
I'm just kind of distressing this a little.
All right, so if you notice a little jump there in the film, the camera died, so we're back. I'm just wiping the oil wax back on these really quick. I didn't let it sit or settle. That's my clock I've been telling you about. This is what it looks like wiped back. You guys can really see. Let's see if we can get this to focus. the crackle, the chipping. We did get all the way back to some of the blue. This is going to continue to settle down. You will, when you use oil wax, sometimes you'll get some more chips because it can activate the milk paint because it's like a liquid based or liquid activated paint, but it will also seal it up and you'll get all this fun chipping, and it looks amazing. I love it so much. And this is what it looks like before wiping it back.
And this is the piece I painted. I have a short coming out on this, or it may already be out by the time you see this. And this is just Americana and white, and this is that little mini dresser. I think it turned out really cute.
And this is the clock that we showed at the beginning of the video that is milk painted in the Kent from the bespoke line.
See if I can.
And got some moisture in there.
Oh, I'll show this too. I think this one sold.
Sitting out in the sun, got some condensation. All right, that's it.
All right, guys, if you like this video, be sure to shop JamieRayVintage.com for all your paint products. I will update the photos of any of these that have not sold yet. And if you like this video, be sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to Jamie Ray Vintage for more
DIY
and thrifting. We'll see you